good.
Live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Dr. Misak here, Pittsburgh Alternative Health. We talk about vitalometry. We do these short little clips to talk about product highlights. I always want to bring God into the picture. You know, I love the Bible app, and today 1 Peter 5:7 says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you." And that's just such a security, just in general, to know. In this kind of mixed up world and making decisions on what we're doing, and knowing that just God is there is just a powerful thing. And for those of you who don't, hey, let's talk. But purpose today, I mean, if you guys checked out last week, I talked about collagen, the importance of collagen from an RBTI perspective on holding everything together, the elasticity of the tissues for blood pressure, for skin integrity, for healing, for pain in the joints and all those type of things. And something that we always talk about with RBTI, or Ream's biological theory of ionization, is minerals. You know, bottom line, you know, Dr. Carrie Ream suggested that illness is basically mineral deficiency. And so I look at illness from a different perspective, being a naturopathic doctor, that you either have deficiency or you have excess, okay? But think about it. If you have excess, and let's say toxicity is excess, let's say it's something that you're eating in excess that causes a negative energy affecting your body. Let's say that it's some environmental toxin or something that your body has exceeded the capacity to take care of it. You have to say why? Because it doesn't have enough energy needed by minerals on the deficiency side. And in order to certain processes to occur, in order to get rid of this, you need to support certain systems, which most require minerals. And so one of the things that we look at, you know, when we're looking at from RBTI, Ream's biological theory, those 7 numbers that we run when we're running urine and saliva tests as a system of measurement. We're trying to measure, hey, if we know what's perfect and these numbers move away from perfect, then you have a decrease in energy. But if they move towards perfect, you have an increase in energy. Basic rule of understanding RBTI. So, but one of the things is those numbers specifically point to mineral utilization, particularly the urine pH and your both your pHs in reality, but particularly the urine pH tells that post-digestive how well you're using it. The saliva pH gives that pre-digestive capacity and the strength of the bile in order for you to extract your minerals. But then also that salt number, you know, that salt number can tell if you're just, you know, if people have I had somebody who had been dealing with the RBTI years ago for, you know, over 30 years. They work with Manthe. They called my office a few weeks ago. He was really, really sick. I looked at his numbers and he had a 1 to 2 sugar to salt ratio. His salts were so stinking low. His saliva pH was like over 7. I'm like, his bile was so weak, and he's extremely potassium deficient. His nitrates were like 1/11, you know, or something like that, or 1/9, and he was just in a breakdown state. Truly mineral deficient and not able to. That 1 to 2 ratio says this guy is not extracting his minerals. And so what do? Do you shove more calcium into him? You know, do you take more? Let me upset your stomach. Yeah, I know your digestive capacity is already down. I know you're all screwed up. No, you know, with him, he had such an overgrowth, you know, and what was going on with regards to his high nitrates, his microbiome was all messed up. You know, I know that the guy is dealing with parasites and bacterial or yeast overgrowth. And so that's because he's putrefying and breaking things down. You know, where do you start? You know, he needs minerals. Minerals are needed, particularly calcium. You know, so I started him on, he was already drinking what's called lime water, which is something that I rarely use. And I'm like, it's not working. You know, you have a pH of 5.1, you know, and so what we did is we gave him a trace amount of Mincol, but then we brought in trace minerals. And what I use is fulvic and humic-based minerals in him. And why? You know, so fulvic acid is a natural constituent found in the humus and in the really deep, rich soils that are found. And historically, you would find where people would do extract of this, and because it comes out of the decomposed matter from the Earth's crust, is where they say it comes from, and it's mostly found and they source it out of this stuff called shilajit, Shilajit, which is this common super dark stuff that seeps out of the soil in the Himalayan mountains. Now, other people have found that where they find fossilized plant material out of, I think it's New Mexico, and they found that it's rich in fulvic and humic acids. And why fulvic and humic acids? They are transporters. They help to transport the minerals across the cell membrane. Incredibly important. When you're looking at that aspect, it's from a soil standpoint, you can turn around and you can get these humic-based products, and they turn around and they're used for health of your soil when you're in your gardening. You know, you can add it to your soil. It helps in holding the water in. It helps with microbial balance. It helps with carbonation, and the carbon's used as a fuel for the microbes. They help the microbiome aspects. You see that they use it on foliar plants to help the cell membranes and the permeability, so the plant can extract nutrients from the atmosphere. It increases nutrient uptake of those plants. Wonderful benefits you'll find it when you go to these shows on gardening and things like that. You will find humic acid and humates in powderized form, which you can add to the soil in small amounts and using foliar sprayings once a week or even once a month just to feed your plants, just to help your garden. But in people, fulvic acid has been shown to increase endurance and help energy. Why? Well, you're transporting minerals. It helps with transporting minerals across the cell. You'll also find stuff that suggests that the fulvic acid helps to detoxify, to help to transport toxic minerals out of the cell. So when I first was introduced to fulvic acid, it was all about heavy metal detoxification and using this not only to helping with energy increase, but to help with detoxification. And that some people believe that that's the humate form, most of the humic acids that are in there. Muscles, it's been shown that fulvic acid has an adaptogenic and anabolic for muscle building. So you'll see it used. Why? Well, you're able to transport minerals inside the cell. So one of the primary ways that I use this product is people who are exercising all the time and they're depleting themselves. So I use the trace minerals. Why use Gatorade and just get some, little bit of potassium and some other junk that they're adding in there, when you can use a blend of over 70 trace minerals, some of which are known to help with longevity and just helping with the body's energy utilization. Another thing with fulvic minerals is it helps to increase testosterone production. It's been shown to increase sperm counts by 61% and sperm activity by 37%. So that's something directly that's been shown that where these things can benefit people for that manlyhood and being able to achieve the aspects of what we want with regards to energy performance. So again, when I have people who are exercisers, marathon runners, and people who are running all the time, I'll have them do a shot glass and a little bit of water of these fulvic minerals prior to exercise. It's amazing. Years ago, I had a kid who was in high school, and they're like, "Is this doping?" I'm like, "No, not at all." And he had his whole team, and he was across country, and he did running, and they were out of Allegheny, these huge school up north of Pittsburgh, and he ran the 1500, the 5x15 or something, where they had a team of runners. They set the state record that year for running that, and all I did was give them trace minerals. Every single one of the kids dropped their energy, dropped their running times, and they set the state record on performance on that year. So other things with fulvic minerals been shown. If you think about if you have any common cold or any type of disease, if you're able to improve that deficiency state, does it help? Yes. Here's an interesting study. It was application of fulvic acid and derivatives in the fields of agriculture and medicine from Yan Shenyan, in 1988. But they specifically wrote this: patients with cancer causing tumors of the esophagus had 100% success rate in preventing tumor progression into a cancerous state when treated for 2 years with a humic extract solution. Wow. mineral utilization, detoxification, improved utilization of minerals. When do I use them? When I'm looking at that sugar to salt ratio. When you have people who are, not consuming that sea salt and Himalayan salt and stuff that drives up their conductivity, but they have a low sugar to salt ratio. It drops down to 1 to 3.5, 1 to 4. That sugar to salt ratio, when you're looking at those numbers, they're not utilizing their trace minerals. The saliva pH will go up. The bile becomes weak. They're not extracting their minerals. I will give those people fulvic minerals, maybe for one, max, maybe up to 3 months. Because when you improve the digestive capacity with RBTI and getting the other trace minerals, correct the calciums with Mincol and whatever forms, and whether you need C or D, those type of things, you find that as you correct as the pHs fall into balance, the trace minerals that are in the food, you'll start extracting them. But if you're still, hey, I'm still running to the gym, 5 days a week, burning off more calories and then I'm consuming, and they need those type of things, I will use the fulvic minerals all the time. Humic acid. Humates have been shown to protect the cell's defense against viruses. So it's Coxsackie, influenza, herpes simplex. Humic substances are effective at affecting that DNA, those DNA viruses, and helping your body to fight against them. It's been suggested to help remove pesticides from the body, such as paraquat or DDT, and helping them to eliminate. So again, that detoxification aspect. Electrical balance in the cells. Why? What causes the electricity? Minerals, utilization of electrical transport of minerals. So if you're affecting the transport of minerals across the cell membrane, which is controlled by calcium, okay, calcium regulates what's coming in or what's coming out. So you have to take a Mincol or some type of calcium form that's specific for your pHs. But these trace minerals help with that electrical conductivity. And again, with pesticides and detoxification, I originally found them in relation to heavy metals. Immune boosting. Why? You're improving energy efficiency. Pain reducing oxygen-free radicals and those type of things. So the main one that I use is a product called it's called Morningstar Minerals. And Morningstar Minerals, they have 3 different forms. They have Energy Boost, which is primarily a fulvic acid base. They have Vitality Boost, and Vitality Boost is mainly this humic acid base. And then they have Inner Vitality, which is a mixture of the two. And the one that I use by far the most is the Inner Vitality for restoring people who are just depleted. When I have people coming in here that are just breaking down, I'm going to put them on these trace minerals until I see their chemistry stabilize, usually 1 to 3 months until those things kind of correct. If you're just exercising and those type of things, I give them, the fulvic minerals. I'd rather you use something that has these trace minerals that I know are going to affect your energy utilization versus just drinking Gatorade and trying to replete that one. So the other form of minerals that I use is called TJ Clark's, and there's a colloidal mineral product. So TJ Clark's originated over in the 1920s. It goes to a story where a rancher by the name of TJ Clark became really ill, and he ended up going to a Native American guy, and it led him to this sacred spring, that they would drink from. He drank the water and almost immediately began to feel better. And they turned around and what do? They capped off, they tapped into the water sources. They've been selling TJ Clark Minerals, which is both fulvic, because they say that it comes in a form from nature from prehistoric plant deposits. That's suggesting the same source of the fulvic and humate minerals, but being from a spring, there's also rock minerals. And so there's some really unique trace minerals in TJ Clark's. This doesn't have it written on the bottle, but you can go and look it up. TJ Clark's colloidal minerals. It's a great product from a standpoint of bringing them in. There's a trace mineral called lanthanum. And lanthanum has been shown that when it's a rare earth element, and when lanthanum is present, they gave it in diets of rats. These rats lived excessively long. They were like, oh my God, this is like an anti-aging mineral, but it's such a rare earth element, it's hard to find and get it into people in a high enough source. So therefore, again, if you have people who are depleted, trying to replete TJ Clark's, this stuff tastes like salt water. because I know there's a trace mineral base, colloidal based minerals. When you're looking at the aspects of how minerals get into the body, colloids is what has to happen. Your blood is a colloid. Your body digests it, it ionizes it, and makes it so those ions can get extracted in a colloidal form into your blood to be utilized. Oops, kicked my own computer there. And so when we're looking at the aspects of colloidal minerals, we know that TJ Clark is in a colloidal form. But when I turn around and look at the aspect of plant-based with the fulvic minerals, with the, I keep trying to get the bottles in there, but when you're looking at the plant-based things from Morningstar Minerals, they're again in a usable form, colloidal, I believe. The energy boost, the fulvic acid doesn't taste bad at all. The humic acid, the green one, it's got a taste to it. Tastes like dirt. Bottom line, it is, it's really, if you ever want to look like you're grew up where I did in West Virginia, you could just take some of that stuff right there and just swish it around your mouth, get someone a great big smile, and your teeth will be black. It's beautiful. But, so I tell people, you dilute this stuff down, drink it. But from a standpoint of generality, I typically use the Inner Vitality. They're right between around $30 to $40. The TJ Clark's right at $30 per month supply. An ounce a day is what you do of these things. If you're exercising, shoot it down beforehand. I'm going to look and see. I see that we have a few people on. Hello. Thank you, Connie. Thanks for being there always. Earth Garden Living. Hey, how you been? Finding my new channel. Helping with low cortisol levels that won't come back up. That's something that we'll talk about on Saturdays. Unfortunately, this Saturday, I am not going to be on. I've got something that came up. What we're going to try to do is record a show, and then Annie will play the recording back. Low cortisol levels, we typically use adaptogenic herbs. Utilization. Look, again, you can see these type of products can play a role with that. But sometimes I'm looking at things like cordyceps. Sometimes I'm looking at some of the other herbs, holy basil, holy basil. Yeah, Tulsi is a great herb for affecting cortisol levels and things, but especially if they're about keeping them from spiking up on you. So we try to look at those type of things. Again, Saturday's show will bring that all that in. So, but thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy these product highlights. Again, if you're interested in any of these products, PittsburghAlternativeHealth.com. You can email us that you're interested in them. Again, these are heavy, people. So these cost about $8 to ship when I'm looking at the aspects of shipping them out. If you say you mentioned it or you saw it on the show, I'll eat the shipping, and we'll ship them to you for free because you're looking at a quart each. Again, that's going to lay that stupid postage, probably going to cost about $8 to $10. So, but again, I'll eat the shipping if you guys mention it on the show. Shows that you're listening. Otherwise, take care. You'll see a video hopefully for Saturday. Otherwise, the following Saturday I will be back. Until then, take care and God bless you all.